athletes, let's stop being so selfish. Let's stop being so, and here's what I mean by being selfish. You're pounding the basketball. Stop pounding the basketball, because for each dribble that you take, you're getting your team tired. I'm going to say that again. For each extra dribble you take, you're getting your team tired. There's nothing more beautiful than seeing a team run a fast break without the ball ever hitting the ground. The worst thing that happened to the basketball was put air in it. Listen, the worst thing that they did to a basketball was put air in it. If you understand the history of basketball, right, with the peach basket and all that, they had to pass the ball. The worst thing they ever did to a basketball was put air in it, because now it comes right back up to you. And like you're almost hypnotizing yourself, because you just look, the worst thing they ever did to a basketball was put air in it. Athletes, move the ball, pass the ball, stop being so selfish. If you pass the ball, I assure you the ball will come back and find you.
Yo, just so you understand it, this is Coach Carvel Bailey's program with the spirit of Bob Hambry. This is Blessed to Ball, helping athletes, and we represent. Study your craft, your mentality leads to excellence. It's all about your mindset. We'll never stop addressing this, so be positive and not a pessimist. Confidence took James Harden higher. If you really want it, it ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard as carbon fiber, but we got you. From counseling to workshops, we do it. You'll go farther with a scholarship. We'll help you get recruited. Yo, anyone can dribble and shoot, but it's the ones who study basketball internally that make it to Duke University. Knowledge goes around. The game is played from the neck up and not from the shoulders down. This is Blessed to Ball, helping you with obstacles. The athletes are the rocket. Blessed to Ball is the rocket fuel. If you hit a wall, we can help you slowly climb it. So keep a Mamba mentality like Kobe Bryant. Blessed to Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Blessed to Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Blessed to Ball. Come join our team, it's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Blessed to Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Blessed to Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Blessed to Ball. Come join our team, it's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Yo, Coach Carvel Bailey. Hey, listen to your coach, man. He ain't no scrub off the street. That man got credentials, academic and street. Believe it, and my name is strategic.
Good afternoon. My name is Coach Carvel Bailey. I want to welcome you to another episode of Lunch and Learn. All right, so let me know where you're learning from today. Let me know what city and state you are learning from. And so on today, I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't like to talk about until it's too late, and then they're criticizing, right? A lot of times we criticize, and that's being reactive. We don't necessarily educate, and that's being proactive, okay? So we oftentimes criticize, and we're being reactive, and we don't educate, which is being proactive. So my mission, right? My mission is to educate over the next 2 years, is to be able to educate over 1 million different people, and to be able to help families save over $1 million in college tuition within the next 2 years. That's what my personal mission is. And so on here, we're going to educate you, but we're also going to have you think a little bit, right? Have you become aware of some other things, So again, let me know what city and state you're learning from. Don't be shy. Get from behind that keyboard. Type something. It's very interactive. But I want to talk about today, right? As you see along the bottom of the screen, has your athlete become that person yet? Has your athlete become that person? And if not, what does your athlete need to become? And I'll leave it at that, right? Has your athlete become that person yet? And if not, what does your athlete need to become? And so a lot of times we speak on, or parents have issues with, so let's say playing time, right? My kid is not playing. My kid is not playing enough. The coach plays other people, right? And they're not playing my kid. Well, I just want to give you a disclaimer. Playing time is earned. Playing time is earned. In some cases, it's given based on certain situations, right? Maybe playing time is given because you may have some moms that try to press up on the coaches, or some dads that try to press up on the coaches, parents try to press up on the coaches, right? Or parents coaching their own kids. But in most cases, playing time is earned. And so if playing time is earned, that means that coaches are really putting the people on the court that they feel, based on that situation, that environment, those matchups, can help them win a basketball game. And so again, that environment and those matchups. So parents, I want you to understand today, one, don't get upset because your athlete isn't playing. And after I get done today, it's gonna make a lot more sense. But a lot of times, coaches are playing people based on matchups. If your athlete doesn't fit within the matchup, especially when you get to the college level, and then on the pro level, right? You see players like, man, I forgot they was on that team, but then they may play a player may play 2-3 games and have breakout times. Like, well, how come they not playing? Well, the matchups aren't right. When you get middle school, lower ages, right? They're putting people out there regardless of matchups. But a lot of times coaches are observing the matchups and they're playing people based on if they feel it's a good matchup or if it's a mismatch. Does that make sense? Right? Also, they're playing people based on, say, maybe the environment. Maybe it's a fast-paced game. And your athlete is better at just playing, not really reacting, not really responding. But maybe the environment is a little more structured, right? And this is the biggest difference between club ball, AAU ball, and school ball. School ball is a little bit more structured than AAU ball, club ball. And so now, maybe based on that environment, your athlete is not one that may know a play. I used to have players on my team, and I prided myself on everybody knowing the plays and knowing the plays from every position. But there are just some athletes, as a head coach, as an assistant coach, on a high school and college level, certain players just don't know plays. And then parents are complaining, well, my kid can play, but your kid don't remember a play. Does that make sense? Your kid may be able to play in that environment where it's just boogity and that they're just playing. But what about when we got to slow it down every time up the court and call plays? Well, if your athlete can't comprehend the play, and there's no knock to them, maybe the coach isn't explaining right, maybe they're not focused, but the point that I'm making, right, has your athlete become that person yet? And if not, what do they need to do to become? Okay? So we got matchups, and then we have environment. Does that make sense? Right? So those are two main things that will make or not make your athlete play. But here's what I want you to understand. Regardless of which one of those two, environment or matchups, has your athlete become that person that can play regardless of the environment? Has your athlete become that person that can play regardless of matchups? And now they're flipped it, and now it's a mismatch. Maybe they're not as tall, so it's maybe not that matchup, but they're smart, so it's a mismatch because they know how to take advantage of that taller person guarding them, or maybe vice versa, right? But a lot of times we're just focusing on the physical ability of our athletes instead of focusing on, right, even though, and I was telling a client this the other day, the benefit of a lot of people playing AAU or club ball is because they do get to travel. So they do get some exposure just to the world, the country, different environments, staying in hotels, putting themselves in a different situation. But it's not just about the tournaments, the games, the scouts, none of that. It's who are they becoming in the process? Does that make sense? Who are they becoming in the process? Are they becoming a better individual? Are they becoming a better basketball player? Are they becoming a better son? Are they becoming a better daughter? Are they becoming a better student? Are they becoming a better version of themselves? That's what we're talking about today. And a lot of times, again, I always speak on delayed gratification, but a lot of times that's totally missed because people are thinking just like right now. And so some parents may go through a whole summer, may go through a whole basketball season and never really identify how that child of yours is growing. Or maybe how that child of yours is not growing. Oh, they scored 30 points, but they got 4 techs. Like, is their attitude worse? Or is their attitude gotten better? Are their academics worse? Have their academics gotten better? Have their awareness gotten clouded or has their awareness heightened? So has your athlete become that person that they need to be to play in certain environments? Have they become that person that they need to be to play with different matchups? So when you're complaining, or if you complain, or if your athlete complains or don't know why they aren't playing, I want you to really figure out, well, who do they need to be to play? Because obviously the coach is playing somebody, right? The coach is playing 5. And so those people at that time have become the person that is needed right now. And again, delayed gratification. It may take your athlete, right? I was watching the game NBA the other day, and they were talking about a guy, I don't know what team, but like he's been a journeyman overseas and G League and D League and all of that, right? Before the name change, but been a journeyman. Now he's on the NBA roster. And so this brings me to my second point when we talk about recruitment. And I'm going to lean in for a second. Your athlete is being recruited based on who they are right now. I'm going to say that one more time. Your athlete is being recruited based on who they are right now. I've had parents come to me and on our application, they say, hey, my kid is the Division I player. But then they say, well, they've only gotten contacted by 2 coaches and those were Division III schools. There's no knock to Division III, right? I started at a Division III, a Royal University, right? We won this picture right here, right? Division III, and we won conference. And two of my teammates, one got invited to Portsmouth, the NBA camp, right? And another one had like 4 or 5 opportunities to go overseas. So no knock to Division III. But the parents that say their kids are Division I athletes, but they're getting Division III offers, that's because your athlete is a Division III player right now. They haven't become that person that needs to be what they need to be to help a Division I team. Because if so, Division I teams will come after them, right? You got Division I, you got Division II, you got Division III, NCAA. Division I, II, III, NCAA. And then you have NAIA. It used to be Division I and II. It's just all one division now, NAIA. And then you have the National Junior College Athletic Association, NJCAA. You have Divisions I, II, and III. So you have the NCAA 1, 2, 3, NAIA, and then you got junior college 1, 2, 3. That's 7 different levels in which your athlete could possibly be recruited on. And so based on who they are is where they're being recruited at. So I'm going to lean in again. If they haven't been recruited, it's probably because they haven't become the athlete that they need to be or the student they need to be to get recruited by one of those 7 levels. Now, don't mean that they can't become that person. But again, are you just concerned with the physical or are you concerned with the whole body of what this little orange ball can do for your baby? Even in life, as us, as adults, we have to become that person, right? Maybe you're watching at your job, maybe you're watching at home, whatever. You had to become that person for your spouse to want to get with you, or you had to become that person for your girlfriend or boyfriend, to significant other, to want to be with you. You had to become that person to be able to get that particular job offer. Does that make sense? So it's no different for athletes. They have to become that individual that they need to be to get to where they want to go. Is this making sense to you? I hope it's making sense, right? If it's making sense, right, just talk to me. It's interactive, right? I don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself, and I like interacting, but I hope that you're getting something from this. Don't miss the transformation that this game brings about because you're just focusing on the playing time or the recruitment. Let's say that again. Don't get lost in the transformation of your athlete becoming a different individual because you're just focusing on the playing time, playing ability, or recruitment. And guess what? The beautiful part of it, when they become that individual, again, it's 7 levels. Division 1, NCAA 1, 2, 3, NAIA, junior college 1, 2, 3. That's 7. There's plenty of opportunity for your athlete to get recruited. There's plenty of opportunity for your athlete to play more. But is your athlete taking advantage of every opportunity to grow? That's what I mean by become. Right? It's like what we do at Hoops Master University, right? It's definitely delayed gratification. Right? We don't work with people that just, hey, like I'm looking for a recruiting service. I'm looking for a scouting service. That's not us. To just post something up and people come fishing. That's not us. We want the transformation to happen. And so that takes time. That takes education. That takes understanding of themselves first and then what's around them. So maybe your athlete is at practice each and every day. Again, each and every day. And they're just focusing on why they're not playing. But have you ever realized what that's doing to your athlete? What type of person they're becoming by being able to deal with adversity? Or are you the parent that, right? Oh, I'm going to tell the coach this. My son should be playing. My daughter should be playing, right? Are you that individual? Okay. Shan Scott says it makes sense. She says it makes sense. Right? I'm not sure what language this is, right? But they're interacting. All right. Maybe that's it makes sense to them in another language, right? We reach not only locally, Chicagoland area, but we reach nationally as well as internationally. Because again, my mission is to be able to help over 1 million different people with things like this. And to be able to help parents save over $1 million in college tuition over the course of the next 2 years. And we are headed towards that. But I want you to focus on your athlete becoming. And sometimes that takes an investment, right? Sometimes you have to say, okay, we're not just going to focus on the things that's going to get them playing more, right? Because we know what's happening in the NBA, the NFL, the NCAA. We see it all the time. Oh, this person can play, but they got kicked off because of a bad attitude. Or, oh, this person is good, but excuse me, but nobody wants them on a team. And they haven't learned, right, to grow and develop into that person that they need to become to where they can start attracting coaches, right? Start attracting teammates to them. Hey, would you like to play with us? Hey, I want this person on my team, right? And it doesn't make your athlete a bad person. I'm not saying that. But we all are put on this earth, one, to increase God's kingdom. That's my personal belief. But are we that person that we need to be able to do that? Are we that person that can go help a Duke, a Kentucky, a Georgetown, a Syracuse? Right? Is your athlete that person? Are you that person that can help whatever job you may be at, whatever spouse you may have, whatever significant other you may have, whatever kids you may have you become, right? I want you to think about it, especially for my parents that have more than one kid, right? My daughter is 17. And we tell my daughter all the time, we love you, but a lot of times we were practicing. Because it was brand new. With my 5-year-old, we have become, my wife and I, we have become the parents that we need to be able to give him everything that he needs. Not saying that we didn't do it for our first two, but it got easier and easier and easier because as we grew in ourselves, it made things easier. So your athlete would start attracting those things that they want once they start to become that person that they need to be. Because maybe they want to play more, but maybe they're here. Coach is not going to come down here based on the environment or based on the matchups, right? Environment, situation, or matchups. Your athlete now has to grow. They have to learn the plays to get here because playing time is waiting on them. That recruitment offer is waiting on them, but they're here. And you're doing all of this back and forth, training, right? Club ball, AAU ball, all of those things, right? Traveling over the world, across the country, whatever, all of those different things, Vertimax, and no knock against none of those things, right? You're doing all of those things is just getting them swinging back and forth, as opposed to things that's going to enhance them to become. We're not human beings. As my coach always say, we're not human beings. We're humans becoming because we should always be growing, right? And so maybe you know, right? Maybe you know, and I got it right. Maybe they need to become smarter. Maybe they need to become tougher. Maybe they need to become more confident, right? Maybe they need to become a better student. Maybe they need to have a better attitude, right? Maybe they need to become a person that plays defense. Maybe they need to become a better teammate, right? Maybe they need to become more aware. Maybe you, right, as a parent, right? Maybe you need to become more aware of the process. Maybe you need to become, right, more aware of the importance of investing into the entire athlete and child and not just on the physical skill side, right? Maybe you have to become the person that's more willing to say, okay, I'm going to do certain things that maybe I haven't done to where my athlete can get some of the things that they just haven't gotten, right? Because we are all becoming. When I first started Lunch and Learn last year, right, as virtually, I was at my job, sitting in my classroom, students were virtual, and I'm like, you know what? I'm doing Life in Basketball, right? Probably the number one podcast for athletes, coaches, and parents, right? Personal and professional development. I'm doing that, but it's lunchtime. I don't have nothing to do. I don't have no kids. I'm not really leaving out my room. Let me do Lunch and Learn. And I have some great episodes from a year ago, but I've become a totally different person now and given much more gems now than probably when I first was, right? If you haven't had a chance to go check out my podcast on YouTube, it'll be on all streaming platforms, right, in the next 48 hours. But when I looked at the very first Life in Basketball episode I did, I was like, ooh, I don't want to post that. But guess what? That shows my growth. I don't mind anymore. So let's help your athlete become. Let's help you become, right? As a basketball parent, right? You have to become, even as coaches. So I have some coaches watching as well. Coaches have to become better, much better. Much better. All right. So I'm not sure what or where your athlete needs to become better, right? Maybe you could drop it in the chat. Where your athlete needs to become better, where you may need to become better. But until you can identify it and be aware of it, right? Identify it. It does exist. Become aware of it. That's when you can make the change. If your athlete shoots the ball and they don't identify that they're not following through all the way, they don't have enough strength in their legs, then they can't become aware of that. They're just going to be constantly frustrated. I'm not making shots. But have they identified why they're not making shots? Are they aware why they're not making shots and what they can do to help them make shots? And then do they understand the third thing, what they're becoming in the process of learning that thing, being coachable and getting through it? That's it, right? That's what I want for you to be able to help your athlete understand. And so, if this was valuable, right, let me know, right? Let me know. We got, again, some people are going to hide behind, right, the screen as long as they can get that information, right? Use the information. I have people telling me all the time. They send me messages on my YouTube, everything. Say, Coach, this has helped my athlete, right? I even have some parents, right? This has helped my athlete. They don't even play basketball. They play other sports. And so if it's helping, right, just let me know, right? I love interaction, but it also helps me to continue to grow and become into the individual that I need to be, right? We have workshops, online workshops, all of those things. And actually on January 22nd, we're actually doing a recruitment bootcamp in which we're breaking down a lot for parents and athletes together on this boot camp on some things that they need to do to become more recruitable. There are some things, right? No matter what AAU tournament you go to, what club tournament you go to, what tournament your high school, the team that your high school athlete is in, it don't matter all of that, right? They still have to have certain things in place to become recruitable. I can say, I want this person, but if they aren't what I'm looking for, or if they don't have what I necessarily need or what they need to help me then recruit them, they ain't become that person yet. Very valuable, and videos have helped. Absolutely. Yep. So if you want to take advantage, right? If you want to take advantage of our recruitment bootcamp, it's going to be right January 22nd, 2022, 1/22/22, right? It's going to be an all-day event. It's going to be an all-day event. You and your athletes going to show you all different things that's needed to help them become more recruitable. And again, when we speak on recruitable, we're not just talking about colleges. We're talking about recruitable, right? Or not just college athletics, but helping them become more recruitable with college admissions, helping them become more recruitable with their high school courses, helping them become more recruitable if it's with jobs, if it's with, right, just helping them become more recruitable. There are certain things that they should have in place to be able to put themselves in the best situation. Because again, right now, most athletes are getting what they're getting based on who they are right now. And the coach told me a long time ago when I used to work basketball camp. I ain't worked camp in about 5 or 6 years, but a coach once told me, he said, Carvel, he said, potential will get you fired. I said, what you mean, coach? He said, if you're playing an athlete who you're banking on their potential, you're always thinking that they can become. Does that make sense? Right? You're always thinking that they can turn that corner. Right? Always thinking that they can become what you think they can be. He said, but potential will get you fired. Because if they aren't aware and haven't identified what's happening around them, who they're becoming in the process, you're going to be playing them expecting something and they're just not there yet. And so it's going to affect your bottom line. It's going to affect your team and they're going to get you fired. Say, whoa, that was a whole word. That was a whole word. Potential can get you fired, right? You have what you've earned at this point. And you've earned what you have at this point based on who you've become. So let's help your athlete become a better individual. Let's help your athlete become a better basketball player. Let's help your athlete become a better them. And that's what we do at Who's Master University, right? We're not a scouting service. We're not a recruiting service. We are literally a full service coaching and consulting company that's helping the athlete and the parent go from where they are to where they want to be. And that, my friends, is called transformation. Maybe you're just looking for a transaction, money to get something. We're looking for transformational relationships. That's why we don't even work with everybody. That's why boot camps like this, we say, okay, for those people that we know that aren't a good fit for us to work with us hand in hand, come on with us for, 4 or 5 hours and let us break down these things. So when you leave the boot camp, you'll have these tangible things to be able to help your athlete become that person that they need to be. Does that make sense? All right. So again, definitely go get registered. All right, for the boot camp. This will be the last week. Monday, the price is going up. Monday, the price will definitely increase. I'm not saying this to scare you, to rush you, but Monday, the price is going up, right? And because we're only taking a certain amount of people, we want to keep this small because it's going to be interactive. And for so long, I'm on my computer, sharing my screen, you all on your computer, right? We're creating documents. We're creating things where they can walk away from this. You can walk away from this, right? And you can have a better athlete, right? You can have a better business, right? Because if your athlete understands it or not, they are the brand. If they understand or not, they are the brand. It's not Nike. It's not And1. It's not Under Armour. I dated myself with And1, didn't I? Right? It's not Adidas. They are the brand. And so we're going to help your athlete understand that they are the brand and put things in place to help them become the brand that they want to be, that they need to be. All right. So again, Coach Carvel Bailey, I hope that this helped. Go and get registered for the boot camp. Again, last week. And so we're doing payment plans, right? We're doing payment plans. But as of next week, it won't really be time to be able to do a payment plan. So if you want to get in, lock in your spot, now is the time to lock in your spot. Get on the payment plan. So by the 22nd, you can definitely have that done. All right. Coach Carvel Bailey, I will holler at y'all. Share this with somebody that you know that can benefit from it. Peace.
Yo, just so you understand it, this is Coach Carvel Bailey's program with the spirit of Bob Hambry. This is Bless the Ball, helping athletes, and we represent. Study your craft, your mentality leads to excellence. It's all about your mindset. We'll never stop addressing this, so be positive and not a pessimist. Confidence took James Harden higher. If you really want it, it ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard as carbon fiber, but we got you. From counseling to workshops, we do it. You'll go farther with a scholarship. We'll help you get recruited. Yo, anyone can dribble and shoot, but it's the ones who study basketball internally that make it to Duke University. Knowledge goes around. The game is played from the neck up and not from the shoulders down. This is Bless the Ball, helping you with obstacles. The athletes are the rocket. Bless the Ball is the rocket fuel. If you hit a wall, we can help you slowly climb it. So keep a Mamba mentality like Kobe Bryant. Bless the Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Bless the Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Bless the Ball. Come join our team, it's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Bless the Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Bless the Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Bless the Ball. Come join our team, it's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Yo, Coach Carvel Bailey. Hey, listen to your coach, man. He ain't no scrub off the street. That man got credentials, academic and street. Believe it. And my name is strategic.